I think you have a pretty good idea of how today's show is going to go. You sons of bitches. No matter how you cover it. The wrong team won, the wrong team lost. That's just the bottom line. We'll get into all of it. Your calls throughout. 877-337-6666. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you, kid?
How the hell do you think I'm doing?
I think you're doing peachy keen.
Oh, you think I'm good?
Obviously, yesterday, from a Jet fan perspective, of course, the Giants, same deal. Different results. Did not get what they wanted. So let's do it in the appropriate order. The New York Jets, what in the world were you thinking? And I blame the Rams as much as I blame the Jets.
Oh, you better.
Because the Rams, I don't want to hear about how their coaches are the second coming of greatness. I don't want to hear about any aspect of that team. The Rams lost that game. The Rams had every opportunity to win the game. The Jets handed it to them, as you knew the Jets would in the fourth quarter, on a silver platter outside of the Marcus May defensive play. 3rd and 4. 4th and 4, the Rams go deep both times. Makes no sense. The referees were on the Jet side in this game. And I tell you what, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear from you Fugazi Jet fans today about, oh, we'll trade the number 2 pick and we'll get plenty of assets. Shut up. It ain't about that. There's a guy available that most people believe, all of us included, is a generational talent. And the New York Jets had a chance to go get a generational talent, and they effed it up.
I was having a great weekend. I got to tell you, Kevin Durant looked healthy. I made love to my wife. It was a tremendous weekend. And the image I can't get out of my head when I went to sleep last night was Frank Gore. And I got nothing against Frank Gore. Frank Gore's had a wonderful career. I'm sure he's a great gentleman. But that 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 completion to Adam Gase, his favorite football player of all time, haunted my night. And very well, barring something crazy, may haunt all of us for a decade. This whole thing has sucked, okay? It's not fun sitting there on a Sunday knowing your team is better off losing. This has never been enjoyable. Not the brutal losses, not the blowout losses, absolutely nothing. But for them to win that game yesterday, and I'm not mad at the players. Like, I'm not mad at JT Hassel for blocking a punt. Of course he's going to block a punt. I'm not mad at Nathan Shepard for looking like an all-pro. I'm not even mad at that fool Adam Gase, because of course he's trying to win a game. I'm just mad. Here's what I'm mad at. I'm mad I'm a Jet fan. And I'm mad that for the last 2 months, we sucked ourselves into believing that that beautiful blonde quarterback from Clemson was going to be our hero. For it to all go down the toilet because Sean McVay can't coach himself out of a paper bag. Let me ask you this. You brought up the 3rd and 4 and the 4th and 4.
Yeah.
The deep shots this schmuck is taking.
Made no sense.
Riddle me this. The Jets secondary is a mess. Why are you trying to establish the run the entire first half? What are you doing? This was from start to finish brutal to watch, and I don't mean to be overly dramatic. This could affect the franchise for the next 15 years.
No, it's going to. It's absolutely going to. If Lawrence is what everyone thinks he is, and it hasn't been a guy like that since God knows how long. You want to say Elway? Say Elway. You pick your favorite guy. It don't matter. The New York Jets, listen, let me be clear. I don't expect the players to try to lose. I don't expect Frank Gore, after 30 years in the NFL, to lay down like a dog and lose. But the franchise got this wrong. They had a rare opportunity. Let me rephrase that. It's not rare. They foobarred every chance they had to get a transcendent quarterback. They foobarred it with Marino. They foobarred it with Mahomes. They foobarred it with Favre. They never, ever, ever get it right. And they didn't get it right again yesterday when they had a chance to guarantee themselves with 2 more games to go, getting a guy that every expert on the planet Earth thinks is going to be the next great quarterback. I don't want to hear about, the next 2 weeks, Matt, shut up. The New York Jets let us down. The fact that Adam Gase was still there to proceed over it says enough about Christopher Johnson as an owner. The fact that Greg Williams wasn't on the sideline to call the cover 0 again to guarantee the loss says all you need to know. Adam Gase doesn't get it. And the fact is, Tommy, will you go downstairs and get that? Appreciate it, buddy. Adam Gase doesn't get it. He never has. And for him to come out after the game and say, quote, when asked about fans like us who are pissed off. Hey, our job is to go out and win every week. Excuse me?
No.
Wait, when did that start?
No.
That's what he said.
Here's where you're wrong, and here's where I'm ticked off at you, and I'm ticked off at some of my fellow Jet fans.
Me?
No, I'm going to tell you where I'm ticked off. Because all I heard for the last month and a half, 2 months, every time I said, get rid of this head coach, fire this head coach, your one retort was, but he's so good at losing.
Yes.
He's trying to win because in his brain, a win or 2 or 3 could save his job. So what this franchise should have done a month ago is they should have done him a favor. They should have done me a favor. They should have fired Adam Gase. And if Joe Douglas, who is going to be here long term, is really thinking about the future long term, then have a coach who knows, you know what, I got a future here. Let me make sure things go awry. Of course Adam Gase is trying to win. I'm not even mad at Adam Gase. Adam Gase's incompetence attempted to blow the game in the first half when his clock management was terrible and they handed the Rams 3 points. But of course Adam Gase is trying to win. Of course Braden Mann, the punter's making big tackles. Of course Nathan Shepard looks like LT. Of course. So maybe they should have fired Adam Gase a month ago. If Joe Douglas is this brilliant genius everybody thinks he is, maybe he would have instilled somebody in there who knew, hey, we're better off losing.
Gase was bad enough in the second half. The Rams just didn't do what they were supposed to do. The Jets gave the Rams the game. Now, the referees called back 1 touchdown. The referees also called back what will not go down in history as anything big, but it was a huge first down inside the Jet 20 on a Fugazi block in the back call. Fugazi to me.
What about the personal foul on Trayvon Wesco?
Yeah.
What about that call?
I mean, the referees certainly helped the Jets win the game. And listen, I thought they were going to lose out. I did. I thought the Rams would do what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be a playoff team. You know, the Jets suck. The whole thing. The 2 West Coast trips back, blah, 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 all the crap that all you so-called experts like to put out there for your stupid sites and your stupid expert opinions and everything. You didn't count for the fact that the Rams would F it up. And now the Jets come home, and what pisses me off the most is that how the Jets don't get it. They don't understand.
Who are the Jets?
Every guy on the Jets.
The players?
Every guy that has commented publicly on what took place yesterday. Some of them are players. Some of them are, coaches. Some of them, I've seen some stuff that's out there about executives that were high-fiving each other. When the Jets...
Was Joe Douglas high-fiving anybody?
I did not see Joe Douglas doing it. Okay. But I was told that there were some people celebrating over there in Florham Park that the Jets won the game.
Yeah, they're probably going to be out of the organization, and they just want to stick it to the future regime.
That's exactly right.
Oh, great.
Now, Adam Gase apologized to Christopher Johnson a week ago, but he just screwed Christopher Johnson and every Jet fan. And I'm with you. I get it. A coach's job is to try to win.
Of course.
A player's job is to try to win.
Of course.
But the organization is tone deaf. Everyone that wears green is tone deaf. And I think what you said is right.
What'd I say?
And I think the one thing, because we can bitch and moan and yell and scream, and we're going to all day long and take calls all day long from ticked off Jet fans because we all thought the Messiah was coming. And I don't think he's coming now. Jacksonville ain't going to win. Period. Stop. But here's the deal. You said something that I think should resonate because I think it's accurate.
What?
Sadly accurate.
What?
This loss and the results of the loss are going to cost this franchise for the next 15 years. And I don't want to hear about 19 picks in 2 years. I don't want to hear about, trading the number 2 pick for assets and, someone's going to fall in love with Justin Fields and offer you the moon. I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because as a Jet fan, even if all that came true, Evan, even if all those picks became great players, even if you trade the number 2 or whatever you do, doesn't matter. None of it matters today, and here's why. Because today, we as Jet fans, and I hope I speak for everyone, it's us. This is typical for us.
Yes.
We had an opportunity and we foobarred it.
Look,
and if all that other stuff comes true, and knock on wood, Joe Douglas is the greatest executive since Bill Polian and makes every right pick, and the Jets do become very good in short order, today, in the moment, it doesn't matter because yesterday was typical us.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know what's going to happen next year. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not putting my brain through the thought of Justin Fields, Sam for another year, trading for Carson Wentz, whatever garbage idea anyone wants to come up with. Trust me, I'm sure we'll have months to try to figure it out. I can't even put that in my head. What's in my head is that if you are a Jet fan, you have sat through just a brutal, brutal season of god-awful football. We've sat through the worst head coach we've seen since Richie Kotite. And we all thought that sitting through this was going to lead to the blonde bombshell, was going to lead to the glorious ending and the glorious gift that we were going to get in April of 2021. And now we sat through this for nothing. And put this in your brain if you're a Jet fan, because this was what I was thinking about last night. Assuming the Jets lose their final 2 games, Jacksonville loses their final 2 games, they're going to be the first 1-15 team in the history of this sport to not have the number 1 overall pick.
That's exactly right.
Put that in your head. Every other garbage 1-15 team, including the Jets, have the ability to pick number 1. Whether they traded that pick, whether they used it on offensive linemen like the Dolphins, doesn't matter. You had that option. And we are now staring down the barrel of the gun where this awful football season, this awfulness that we've watched has led to nothing. Well, the number 2 pick. I shouldn't say nothing, but not to what we thought. And so you're right. I'm not mad at individual players. I'm mad for Adam Gase for more than yesterday. I'm just mad at the situation.
Of course.
I'm mad that in a year in which the Jets have put together this kind of awfulness, coinciding with Trevor Lawrence being available, there had to be another team just as bad.
Yep.
Like, of all years, when there's never 2 1-15 teams in the same year. Never happens.
And the Jaguars
This is the year.
They did what they were supposed to do. They lost by 50. I mean, they went out there and they even started Minshew, right? It was, we're tanking. No, we'll start the guy you want. We'll still lose by 100 points.
And you know what kills me, bro? I've watched a lot of Jaguar games this year because I'm a glutton for punishment. Earlier this season, they looked competent. Like, they looked like a better football team than the New York Jets.
I mean, didn't they win their first game?
They did, against the Colts. And as we sit here today, none of that matters. Now, can they beat the Chicago Bears next week? Trust me, I'm going to be lighting candles while I watch that game. So I'm hoping.
The Bears are a beatable team, but I think the fact that the Jaguars went to bed last night because of strength of schedule, now in the leader position.
Clinched. By the way, that has been clinched. I want that to be known, everybody. Yeah. It's over. If they finish with the same record, the Jets do not pick number 1.
Yeah.
To quote you, period, stop.
Thank you. And by the way, all this crap that's out there, all these people talking about, Trevor didn't want to play here. He'd prefer to play for Jacksonville. Why would you prefer to play for Jacksonville?
That was garbage.
That rhetoric made no sense to me either.
You know what
that franchise has only sucked since it's been in formation. It's a lousy city, a tiny little market, and I don't hear this crap about state income tax.
Let me tell you something else.
There's no reason to want to play for Jacksonville anyway.
Let me tell you something else, and this has been exposed, and it's even happening right here at this radio station.
What?
Everybody hates the Jets. If you're not a Jet fan, you have a little smirk on your face when you talk about the Jets, whether you're the broadcasters, whether you're on NFL Network, whether you're right here on the Fan. There's this, so the Jets beat the Rams. Everybody tried to talk that garbage story into existence. They tried to talk, he doesn't want to play for the Jets. Does he want to play for the Jaguars? Are we going to make that a story too? Nope. Are we going to spend the next 4 months talking about Trevor Lawrence doesn't want to play in that garbage city, which is like a toilet bowl? Because it is. Are we going to do that? No. Because for whatever reason, and it happens here too. I couldn't even listen to the station this morning and this afternoon. It is this smirk that non-Jet fans have. They love when the Jets are a joke. They love it. It's like a big joke. Can you believe the Jets won? I am sick and tired, and we all are, of being a joke. This franchise sucked this year. They deserve the number 1 pick, and we got to sit through not getting it? I mean, and beating the Rams on a Sunday when the boy genius Sean McVay couldn't coach himself out of a paper bag?
Yep. Yeah,
Give me a break.
He said he was embarrassed by the loss to the Jets, but he's also the guy that, and I've never heard this before, he called up Adam Gase this week. You hear that story?
Yeah, I heard it.
I was like, hey, man, I see you on tape. You're killing it. No. Wins will come. Who knew that the win was going to come yesterday? And you're right, the broadcasters, if you listen, it was Brock Heward, whoever it was, and a couple others, they're all talking about, how Jet fans are going to react to the win, this and that. And then if you wanted to know, and I'll mention this several times throughout the day. Make sure I mention this once an hour, every hour. If you want to know why the newspaper business is dead, like a dinosaur dead, and why they just don't get it and have nobody under the age of 70 reading what they put out. And I don't care who the author is. If you're writing for a newspaper, you're writing for a dead medium. You know why?
Why?
So during the game last night, they put out a cover of the New York Post for today. And the cover of the New York Post today was...
Oh, Lawrence Welp.
Lawrence Welp.
Yeah.
Now, most people under the age of 50 have no idea why that was funny. Why Mike Tirico, so clever. Why that was funny. It's a reference to a 1950s swing band talk show hosted by Lawrence Welk. And they thought that was clever. And here's the worst thing about it.
Yeah.
They had that headline put aside waiting for the Jets to pull a jet maneuver and Fubar getting the #1 pick. And they think they're so happy with themselves. We got this one. We own the back page today. Lawrence Welp. A reference to somebody in the 1950s. So if you write for a newspaper and you wonder why nobody buys a newspaper anymore and why you're irrelevant, ask the guy that came up with the headline for us New York Jet fans, Lawrence Welp, you morons. Now, that being said, yesterday was a very tough day.
You think?
It was a very Ivan wrote a little Dr. Seuss rhyme for you yesterday, figuring the Jets were going to blow it. Yeah. And then the Rams, and by the way, the Rams score a touchdown.
I can't stand the Rams. They were on my list forever.
But the Rams score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And there's no mention of a flag. There's no little yellow thing that comes up on the screen.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like they're setting out the kicking unit for the extra point. And then it's like, oh, by the way, I think there was a flag.
Yeah.
So we got all the Jets covered for you. Listen, Giants last night, I know we're going to disagree on this. We're not going to argue about it. I loved what Joe Judge did. Loved every bit of it. I love the aggression. I loved where he said after the game. I told my guys we're going to play a certain way. I got to back it up with how I coach. If they kick the 3 field goals, everyone's yelling and screaming about it. In my opinion, they still lose the game. The Cleveland Browns offense moved right down the field, damn near every possession. Mayfield was on the money. I thought their offense looked really good. They had long extended drives. The Giants are just not good enough to beat them. I thought trying to be aggressive. I love the 4th and 2. I'm shocked he didn't get it, and it was a good call. He didn't get it. Talking about Goldman there on the left side.
Yep.
I loved it. I thought it was aggressive. You could nitpick the fake field goal all you want. It set the right message, and the Giants just aren't good enough yet. But I think Joe Judge did the right thing with the aggressiveness and trying to go for it and get the 7 points, and I applaud it. I do.
You're half right, okay? If he seriously just said, all right, it's 4th and 5 from the 8. It's the opening drive of the game. We had great field position. How about special teams actually came through Deion Lewis with a big return. And he said, you know what, we got to score touchdowns to win this game. Let's go for it. Then fine. I'd probably still take the points, but fine.
So you want him to just run a play. You don't want him to run the fake. I got it.
Line up Riley Dixon to try to find Nick Cates in the end zone? Like, on what planet? And Judge said after the game, we liked the matchup. It was actually, we tried it in practice. On what planet is Riley Dixon looking for an offensive lineman a great play? I know Colt McCoy's a backup. I'm not trying to make it out like he's Dan Marino. But wouldn't you feel slightly better about a 4th and 5 in which Colt McCoy's looking for Sterling Shepard or Darius, even Evan Ingram? Instead, and this was my big issue, and it changed the tone of this entire football game, because I think it does change your game plan on kicking field goals and going for it. It changes the whole game. But to try that kind of play, it was just pathetic. If you're going to go for it, go for it. I would have taken the points. Agree to disagree, I can see it. But this is what we're trying?
I didn't mind it. And I think if Dixon waits another beat, he's got another guy coming under that's wide open. It didn't work. And we'll get more into this later. The Jets are clearly the focus from the start of the show. But if you're a Giant fan, listen, you're upset you lost the game. Washington lost. Told you that was going to happen. No problem with that. I give Washington credit.
It was close.
They played tight, and they had the ball. Chance to win the game late. Washington lost. Philadelphia, they lost. Dallas won. They stay in the picture now. But listen, you're not in Cleveland's class right now, and that came through. And I thought the Giants played a very good game. Not a great game. I thought defensively, even though they gave up long drives, they represented themselves pretty well.
It
shows you the Giants are that close. They really are.
You know how close they are? It's very simple. Convert in the red zone. It's a different football game. The Browns did. The Giants didn't.
No, you're right.
Difference in the game.
But they're close. They're close. And I don't think you can wake up today hating on Joe Judge personally. So we'll get all your calls. And for those of you that are requesting it, at 3 o'clock today, why not? I mean, it's a pivotal moment in the history of the New York Jets franchise. Joe Beningo is going to join us right after 3 o'clock, and we'll hear what he has to say. Some of you, I think, are going to be unprepared.
I'm not going to say anything.
What the Beningo take is going to be.
I've been talking to Joe a lot. I ain't going to say anything. He can speak for himself.
All right.
To quote him, I'll leave it at that.
Okay. So 3 o'clock, just after 3 o'clock, Joe Beningo will come back on as listen, it will go down in the annals as one of the most important wins in New York Jet franchise history, and all for the wrong reason.
It is the worst victory in the history of the New York Jets. Prove me wrong. Like, how could there be a win worse than what we witnessed yesterday afternoon? And it's okay to my fellow Jet fan, because I feel like I've been very irrational over the last 24 hours. Sometimes it's okay to be irrational.
877-337-6666. We have lots of good stuff coming your way. Consider us your therapy today. Your place to vent and lean on our shoulder, lay down on our couch, and have at it. Jets and Giants. What a tough day. And it's Christmas week. It's Christmas. It's like the worst Christmas of all time. Look at all your calls coming.
Are you laughing at if this is how you deal with pain, or you think this is funny? Am I funny to you? Are we clowns?
I don't deal with serious issues well.
If that's your answer, I can deal with it. Because I heard a lot of giggles the last 12 hours.
Not from me.
And it ticked me off.
Not from me. I was right there with you. I was writing Dr. Seuss poems. I was so sure.
All right.
So sure.
Okay.
I even had Izzo trying to find audio of you saying, I don't want to root for the Jets to lose. I'm doing everything I can.
I didn't want to root for the Jets to lose. I haven't enjoyed this. And look at the way it ended up.
Huh?
Look at the way it ended up.
Yes.
Great.
There you go.
Everything's fantastic. Thank God Kevin Durant plays tomorrow night. Thank God.
And look at you wearing a Nets sweatshirt.
Well, because this is the thing that keeps me sane.
So unlike you to wear clothing of your favorite team. Or is it?
Look, I got my Jets hat on.
Good.
Put that on.
Well, I've been tracking it.
What do you mean you've been tracking it?
I've been tracking your clothing.
Have you really?
Uh-huh.
I've worn this sweatshirt a lot lately because I just bought it.
Oh, yes, you have.
Well, I just bought it last week.
Later today, I'll tell you exactly how many times you've worn it. And the Jet hat and other Jet Net paraphernalia.
Well, I bought this like a week ago,
it's almost like you're a third grader. Daddy, can I wear the Jet clothes to school again?
Well, hold on a second.
Daddy, can I wear my Nets sweatshirt again? Daddy, can I wear my Nets hoodie today? Daddy's okay if I wear the Jet hoodie tomorrow? It's okay.
What do you walk around wearing?
Okay, son.
What do you walk around wearing, adult?
I'm a sweatshirt hat jeans guy.
Okay. You wear a hat to cover that bald head. You wear a sweatshirt to cover that gut.
I don't have a gut.
Really?
I'm good. Okay. I got a six-pack cooking here. Yeah. I'm just saying I've kept track. I have a little tracking thing.
I'm going to start keeping track of you.
I'm going to share it to you. It's so much fun. All right, listen, we'll get all your calls coming right up. The Jets win, the Giants lost, and we are here for you, and we don't even charge you. We do not charge you a fee to be your counselor today.